Hello Neighbor is one of the most successful / popular mascot horror games of all time. However, the majority of its popularity came from YouTubers covering the game, and so the quality of the alphas decreased over time and the final game wasn't really the best. Why am I covering this overdone topic? It's important, trust me. Anyways, it's well known that Hello Neighbor has lost their way from their original vision, so quite a few people like Nate EMG decided to make their own version of Hello Neighbor Alternate Reality. And I gotta say, this game was really fun, and I'd recommend you play it before watching this video. But while playing the game, I had a random thought. What if the neighbor never knew you entered his house? Could you still reach the basement? Or in other words, is it possible to beat Hello Neighbor Alternate Reality without alerting the neighbor? Yo, editing Chris here, and I just kinda noticed how I've been saying alternate reality instead of alternative reality. I kinda got it messed up, so you just got to deal with it, I'm sorry. Hello, it is I, ChrisTFM Money here, and today we're going to be seeing if we could beat Hello Neighbor Alternate Reality without alerting the neighbor. But first, what do we mean by alerting the neighbor? In simple terms, it means that the neighbor can never know that something's wrong within his house. Or in other words, it means that the neighbor can never activate Hunt Mode. Hunt Mode is just a neighbor searching for us due to him becoming suspicious. The easiest way that we can tell if the neighbor's in Hunt Mode is via the change in ambience. Or if he says, so the rules of the challenge are pretty simple, just never activate Hunt Mode, and if I do, I'll restart the level, and also I won't be using glitches in this video. That's all the rules, so we can begin the challenge now, right? Nope, 3 more things. First, I'll cover what needs to be done in order to enter the basement at the start of each act. Second, this video will be focusing on each of my days of attempting this challenge, you can tell because of YouTube's chapter system. And lastly, I put my raw footage for Act 1 and Act 3 on my second channel, ChrisTFM. The link is in the description, by the way. Why not Act 2? You'll see why later. But now, we can begin the challenge. Damn. Okay, damn, like, I need to turn this shit down. Hold on. Alright, as I said before, I'll cover what we need to do in order to enter the basement at the start of each act. Entering the basement is how you beat Acts 1 and 3, by the way. In order to unlock the basement door in Act 1, we need a yellow key and a hammer. So in order to get those items, we need to do a lot of stuff. First, we turn on all the paintings, which allows us to get the green key and allows us to unlock the green key room, which has a lot of bear traps for some reason. And then we get the wrench to unlock the roof, and then we can break the windows. Once we break the windows, we can collect the red key and red lamp, unlock the shed, grab the blue lamp, put the red, green, and blue lamps on their spots so I get the hammer, and then in order to get the yellow key, we need to go into the bird room with the hammer and get the yellow key, and then we unlock the door to finish the act. Simple. With that out of the way, let's look at how my attempts went. Check because, you know, alright. So, what's the point of ringing the doorbell? Well, it's quite simple. We need to know where the neighbor is. If we try to do everything that we needed to do to unlock the basement, then we'd have a higher chance of just stumbling onto him and then we have to reset the whole run. Oh, also, if you listen closely, you'll be able to hear an audio cue if he's nearby. And it's not his footsteps or the grunts, just listen. So after that, I turn on half the paintings and then ring the doorbell again. The neighbor went into the room that we need to go into, so I just stalk him outside. Is he like taking a piss right now? By the way, there's a major issue that I purposefully didn't tell you about. So we need to not alert the neighbor, however we need to break a window. And if you didn't know, breaking windows in somebody's house, it will alert them.
Are you sure we should break the glass to get the Elmo snakes?
Yeah, we need to pay Marco. We're in debt to him.
It'll alert Salty though. He's downstairs.
To go to Chuck E. Cheese. That's it. You are grounded for 3 weeks during your suspension time.
And don't worry about it. It's better than dealing with Marco.
Yeah, true.
Come on, let's go. Alright.
Hey, who the fuck is trying to steal my Elmo snake? Oh fuck!
Oh wait, no, like I mean, oh. So how can we avoid getting shot and killed by Salty Snack Kid? Oh wait, no, I mean a neighbor. If you played this game before, you know that breaking windows is required multiple times in order to access different areas of the house. In Act 1, we need to break these 2 windows in order to get the red key and the red lamp, and access to the blue lampstand. And don't even get me started on Act 3, bro. But breaking windows will alert the neighbors, so how can we do this? Well, it's pretty simple. Just put him to sleep. No, not in that way. If the neighbor is asleep, he won't be able to be alerted by any noise in the house. The neighbor can fall asleep naturally by just taking a nap, or him drinking a milk with sleeping pills in it. The only problem is that you have to wait for the neighbor to drink the milk or go to sleep naturally, which can sometimes take forever. But we'll get there when we get there. Back to attempt 1 now. We got fairly lucky. The neighbor took a nap pretty quickly, so I just grabbed the green lamp, turned on the pictures, and tried to affect his milk with my special pills. Where's this milk? Fuck, where's this milk? Did they change the milk? I don't know where his milk is. Sadly, the neighbor drank the milk and took it with him to sleep. Anyways, I got the green key and went to the green key room. I still have no idea why he needs an active bear trap room. Like, what? Why do you need that? Anyways, after I got the wrench, I decided to look at my settings for a little bit. Oh, that's why. That's why you can only hear sound effects, because Well, fuck. Second attempt time. I was able to get half of the paintings, but I had to wait for the neighbor to move to get the rest of them. Did you just go back to watching? Yeah, he does. Yeah. So I had to throw weight here until he, like, you know. Oh shit, wait, come on, go to the left. He's turning off the TV. Yes. Come on. What are you doing? No, wait, what? Did you just turn the TV on off? Oh my god, bro. After enough time, the neighbor went to sleep, so I went onto the roof. God, wait. This okay? Now we're serious. Now we're actually like dead serious now. Oh my god! All right, that was just extremely dumb. Want to know what's worse? The third attempt ended in a similar way. Haha. And the fourth attempt as well. Oh my gosh, bro. Even though this is obvious, it's important to note that the neighbor sleeps longer if he drinks the neon green milk. Don't ask me why putting pills in his milk makes it green. I don't know why. Anyways, it's time for attempt number 5. You were asleep! Do I really need to use the fucking laxatives? I think I really need to use the laxatives. Hold up, I actually think I need to use the laxative. It's like attempt number 5. The laxatives attempt. The laxatives attempt actually made it very far. I managed to break both the windows without the neighbor getting alerted, so, was this the attempt? Let's see, I grabbed the red lamp and the red key, then I put the red lamp in its stand, I grabbed the blue lamp and put it in its stand, and I put the green lamp in its stand, which powers the gate to unlock the hammer. And without thinking, I just immediately went for the yellow key. And the yellow key was pretty easy to get, it was just in this drawer. Now with everything to unlock the basement door, we just have to wait. Oh my god, I'm legit sitting here with the 2 items I need to escape, and this dude is just... I think this dude secretly knows that I'm in his house, like, waiting for him to just turn his back. It's like, bro, the nanosecond that you step away from that room and go upstairs or go to take a nap or something, he knows what's coming. In fact, wanna know something? Wait. Five fucking attempts. 5 attempts. Wow, that was quick. Act 2 is just us exploring the basement to find little Timmy. That's the kid that the neighbor kidnapped, by the way. And this section doesn't have any threat at all, so after collecting too many keys, we just had one more door to open.
Come here, you big fuck!
So, is it over? Yeah, you can't beat the challenge. But, let's rephrase that. Act 2 is impossible, but Act 1 is possible. So what about Act 3? But let's finish Act 2 first. As I said before, Act 2 is just you exploring the basement. Luckily for us, there isn't a threat in the basement, so we could just do the puzzles and escape easily. Whoa. Nah, freak ass strolling. What the hell? There's no way that was in the original Hello Neighbor. I refuse to believe that. Like, I actively refuse to believe that. The creator just added that in just for shits and giggles. They just felt like it. How did this dude get a basement that huge? Don't even ask me. Just look at the blue light. Act 3 begins with us moving into our new house, but we gain a new ability. Schizophrenia. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh man. This is like day 1 of recording. I'm just gonna say that this is day 1. And I have no idea how long Act 3 will take. Day 1 ended right there, but before we move on, I need to clear up something. This is only day 1 and I basically beat half of the whole challenge. The reason why is because I came up with this challenge around the same time when I began streaming ChrisTFM only, which is 4 months ago. And during that time I made a lot of the strategies and routes for Act 1. But I didn't for Act 3. This is because I never considered Act 3 to be possible. The house is way larger, you need to backtrack constantly, and there's like 3 times the puzzle, so back then I didn't even attempt it once. But there's like 20 more minutes left in this video, so you know I gave it a try. But before we move on to day 2, I gotta feed my family, so if you like this video so far, then consider liking it, and if you want to see more stuff like this, then subscribe. And also, if you have any challenges for me, then comment them. I might give them a try at some point. I read all my comments, so don't be scared. Anyways, that's everything I wanted to say. Let's go into day 2. The entirety of day 2 was just me figuring out what to do in order to get into the basement without alerting the neighbor. As you could tell, the house is 3 times larger, which not only breaks some sort of law, but also has 3 times the puzzles, so I'll be going more in depth with what we need to do. So in order to unlock the basement, we need a hammer, a code, and the yellow key again. I'll explain how to get the hammer first. Turn on all the paintings, one of them requires the blue key, I'll cover how to get that later. Get the shovel, dig the grave, and the hammer's in a coffin. Pretty simple. The code is harder to get. First you need the wrench, red key, blue key, and gray key. The wrench is in the garage, the red key is on the neighbor, the blue key is acquired from turning on this hidden switch and then turning on the gate, and you can get the gray key from outside the 4th floor. After you grab the keys, do parkour to reach the other side of the 4th floor, use the wrench, break the window, take none of that, use the keys, and the code is right there. That was a little bit longer, but what about the yellow key? Is that longer? Well, kinda. In order to get the yellow key, you do need the 3 lamps again. The green lamp is near where the code is, the blue lamp is in the shed which requires the gray key, and the red lamp is found inside the train. In order to get inside the train, we need to turn on the 5 generators. Now that we have all the lamps, there's one more thing that we need to do. We need to turn on the switch in the spinning room. But wait, you can't interact with the switch without turning off the power. Wait, turning off the power alerts the neighbor as well. Don't worry about that. When you enter the yellow key room, a TV turns on which alerts the neighbor. Shit. After we get the key, we can input the code, remove the planks, and use the key to finish the act. So you can see there's a pretty big issue. Most of the items that we need to progress are left behind alerting the neighbor in some way. But as I said before, if we wait for the neighbor to sleep, then he won't even know about it. But waiting for the neighbor to go to sleep is dependent on luck, and we can get really unlucky sometimes. Is it even possible to beat Act 3 without alerting the neighbor? Well, there's only one way to find out. My first Act 3 attempt went horribly, but my second attempt was better. I got the red key, the wrench, some of the paintings, and a hidden switch for the blue key, and I put sleeping pills in his milk. When the neighbor goes back downstairs, I use the red key and then I get the blue key. I was about to use the blue key, but then this happened. This step highlights another issue with this challenge. We rely on knowing where the neighbor is to avoid him, and we use certain cues to figure out where he is. For example, if he's eating, you'll hear him eating. In order to avoid the neighbor, we need to hear where he is, so we use certain sound cues like him eating or his walking to figure out where he is. However, the majority of his sound cues, for example his footsteps, are too quiet to hear normally. But on my next attempt, I got a pretty good idea on how to solve this issue. But I actually kind of have an idea on how to track him. Let me use trash cans, because they make a lot of noise. So I could place them, like, since I know he's, like, over here. Yo, wait, that's actually smart. Whenever the neighbor encounters an object that's in his way, he just kicks it. And most of the time, for those objects, they don't make a lot of noise. But the trash can isn't one of those objects. It makes a lot of noise, so that makes tracking the neighbor a lot easier. Later on in that same attempt, I ended up getting the hammer. So I decided to wait for the neighbor to go to sleep. There has to be a better way to do this. How did you see me? What? Yeah, not even gonna lie, that was just bullshit. By the way, that's not even the most bullshit death. Let's go to attempt 4 now. Attempt 4 was actually going pretty well. I activated all the paintings and I was going to get the shovel. Wait. Oh yeah, I did. What? How? How? So why did he just randomly go into hunt mode? I think that the neighbor kicked the trash can into a window and that broke and that made him go into hunt mode. By the way, this is still not the most bullshit death. Let's skip attempt 5 and 6 because they're not important enough, and let's go straight to attempt 7. At attempt 7, I had to wait for the neighbor to go to sleep so I could break the windows on the roof. But I was impatient and So in order for us to break the window, the neighbor must be asleep because he drank the milk, not because he just took a natural nap. So on to the next attempt, right? The rest of the attempts that I had today were pretty bad, so they're not even worth mentioning. But attempt 7 actually did something pretty important. We reached the wall. As you know, we need to wait for the neighbor to go to sleep so we can break the windows up top. But for some ungodly reason, on day 4, I would reach this point and then have to restart my run due to the dumbest shit imaginable. This happens multiple times. And guess what? I know you don't believe me. I know you don't believe me. Go ahead. No. Let's go to day 4. Yeah, are you scared? Go to day 4. Attempt 12 was actually a pretty good run. The neighbor was not annoying at all, so I was able to get most of the items that I needed. But do you remember how I said I got the most bullshit deaths on day 4? Yeah? Well, just watch this. What? Hello? I'm stuck. I somehow got stuck in the goddamn wall. And the funny part is, that's not even the bullshit death I was talking about way back in day 3. Anyways, attempt 13 ended in a pretty funny way. Wait, I could just leave. Oh my god. Attempt 14 as well. Please go downstairs. But attempt 15 finally has something worth talking about. Remember a while back when I said when the neighbor's eating, you'll hear the eating sounds? That's actually pretty important. The neighbor can do everyday activities such as eating, sleeping, and going to the bathroom. And yes, he does wash his hands after peeing. But these actions can require certain items, for example, the broom if he's sweeping and the wrench if he's fixing his car. But what happens if an item isn't there? Well, he just doesn't do them. He just does something else. And that's actually really important. If we want the neighbor to, let's say, drink the milk, then we take away the broom and also the wrench, so the neighbor is more likely to drink the milk. But if we don't want him to drink the milk, then we leave those items in their place. So how does this relate to attempt 15 again? Well, the neighbor decides to fix his car, which is outside. So I just walked in and did nearly everything that I needed to do. But once again, it ended because I was too impatient and I broke the window when he was awake. Attempt 17 made it all the way to where we had to wait for the neighbor to drink the milk and go to sleep. And, let me clarify something. I only use Cheat Engine to speed up time and nothing else. Besides, if you care enough, then you go sit and wait for the neighbor to drink the milk for like hours. It wasn't actually like an hour, it was like 30 minutes. But still, it's still a long ass time. But after a while, the neighbor actually drank the milk, so I had to wait for him to go to sleep now. Wait. That's someone. You just shrunk it. You just shrunk it. Wait! I have no idea how this is happening. You can clearly see the neighbor leaving the room, and he should not have enough time to get to this position to that position in less than 2 seconds. And no, speed hack was not enabled while I was over here. If you can't tell, this was the death I was talking about. I'm still clueless on how this happened, and this never happened in any of my other attempts ever. It was like a solar flare, I don't fucking know. For attempt 19, I had to wait for the neighbor to go to sleep again. So I just waited. And waited. And waited. No sign of the neighbor at all. I rang the doorbell and he didn't come. The reason why is because he somehow got stuck here. How on earth did he even get stuck right there? And no, we can't continue this run. He'd still hear the windows breaking. So I started another— Wait. What if you go to sleep? Doesn't that reset him? Well, let's find out. Yes, let's go. We can finally continue waiting. Yay. Sadly, my binoculars slipped into the back room, so I had to stare at 7 pixels. After 20 minutes, I decided to find some binoculars for my own mental sake, but it happened again. Wait, what? The glitch,
Wait,
where
huh?
something fell into the bathrooms, but guess what? It was something required to beat the game with.
What?
The wrench.
No fucking way!
My mental for the challenge was at an all-time low, and I wasn't sure if I should continue. So I set myself a goal. If the neighbor doesn't drink the milk at least once more today, then I'll just quit the challenge. Pretty simple. As I said before, my mental for this challenge was at an all-time low, so attempt 20 did not have much hope for it. But at this point, I can consistently do the stuff that I needed to do fairly quickly. Grab the trash cans, grab the keys, get the wrench, infect the milk, turn on the paintings. I was like a machine at this point, going into the Blackula flow constantly. Use the red key, grab the blue key, turn on the paintings, grab the shovel, grab the hammer, and now we had to wait. Wait. Why one? Holy shit. Holy shit. Wait. The reason why the neighbor went into hunt mode was because he noticed that the power was off. So that means I had to change how I approach this. But I need to tell you something. I'm not going to tell you the plan that I made at the time because we'll change it in like 8 minutes due to it being kinda dumb, so I'll tell you the final route that I made instead to prevent more confusion. This route revolves around the neighbor sleeping for a longer period of time if he drinks the milk with sleeping pills in it. Prior to the neighbor sleeping, you must have all the lamps placed down and all the keys ready for use, in your inventory or near the window, it doesn't matter too much, and you must have all the planks removed from the door. Once the neighbor goes to sleep, turn off the power and quickly run to the second story and jump out the window. Parkour until you reach the 5th floor window, break the window and get the code. Go into the spinning room, turn on the switch, and go back into the lamp room and then open the door. Grab the yellow key, go back to the basement door, input the code, and then use the yellow key to escape the act. This route is way better than the other one I made at the time because you only need to wait for the neighbor to sleep once, which is better than the first route I made. I made this route on day 5, so I'm not going to use it now, by the way. But now let's talk about attempt 23. Attempt 23 made it all the way to where we had to wait for the neighbor to drink the milk again. Hold up, we actually made it past the major brick wall. Now the only thing that could really kill us is something stupid. That won't happen. Anyways, the neighbor was still asleep at this point, so I just went crazy. I got the code, 2 of the lamps, and the jackhammer. The jackhammer is used to get one of the generators, by the way. Speaking of which, let's do that now. And now we have all the lamps. Wow. Anyways, I was back outside and I had to wait for the neighbor to move. Okay. That's the one place I can't let you. Okay. Day 4 altogether was the most mentally draining moment from this challenge. Mostly because I was playing for hours on end just to get a heartbreaking defeat at the end. But one thing was true, I made the most progress I ever had on this day. So let's see if the 5th day can surpass it. Attempt 24 went pretty well, except for, this. You came back downstairs? How the f- And also this. Wait. What? On attempt 25, the neighbor started to fix his car, so best believe I stormed into his house and stole all of his stuff. But the neighbor kept going upstairs and I needed to go up there as well, so I decided to go up there with him anyway. Why did I keep that door open? So now let's talk about attempt 27. Attempt 27 ended up going extremely well because I got the shovel and the hammer fairly quickly. After that, I went to the 4th floor to prepare for when the neighbor goes to sleep. I unlocked the spinning room and then I removed these planks, as well as the one in the window. And then I dropped the keys off for when I get the code, and then it was time to wait. So I waited. And waited. And waited. And waiting. And waiting. But then I had an idea. The idea that I had was the final route that I set in day 4. If you don't remember, then you just go back a day, I don't know. I put the green lamp in the spot and then the blue lamp as well. Yeah, that's all the stuff I needed to do. So now it's just back to waiting. How long could this possibly take? Minutes later, 1 hour and 25 minutes of recording, and then finally, he drinks it. Shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. I want. Fuck! I forgot! No! I forgot to turn off the spinning room power. Shit. Do I still have enough time to make it? Yes, we still did have enough time. It's possible to beat Acts 1 and 3 of Hello Neighbor Alternate Reality without alerting the neighbor. Thank you so much for watching. As I said before, all the proofs are on my second channel, ChrisTFM. The link is in the description, by the way. But actually, where is ChrisTFM? I haven't seen him in a bit. Where am I? Whose cabin is this?
Looks like everything is going to plan. Oh,
Mario, where the fuck am I?
that's the least of your problems, devious TFM. Let's have a chat. Ee-hee.
If I'm being 100% real with you, this challenge wasn't really that fun. Well, the first act of the challenge was pretty fun. I enjoyed that quite a bit. But the third act was something else. This whole challenge really just boils down to you being patient. You need to be patient to not get caught by the neighbor and to not make noise, and if you're not patient, then you lose and have to restart. But that would usually be it, but I want to actually do something at the end of these videos, or challenges. We'll be ranking them. So now we have to ask the question, is Hollow Knight Recursive Dash damage only harder than Hello Neighbor Alternate Reality without alerting the neighbor? Obviously no, what the fuck? Hollow Knight Recursive Dash damage only is honestly just pure skill when you know what to do. While this challenge was more of a mental test for reasons I don't think I need to explain, so it's safe to say that this challenge is easier than Hollow Knight Recursive Dash damage only. And that's actually it, so that's all I really wanted to say. If you want to see more videos like this, then subscribe and like the video. That's all from me, and I'll see you in the next one.